so good to see you again. Welcome to Families Matter, St. Lucie Public Schools Parenting Guide. Today, we are your hosts. My name is Rebecca Benton. I'm a life skills parent educator with Student Services.
Hello, I'm Dejan Jackson, Family and Community Outreach Administrator for St. Lucie Public Schools. I am so excited to be back with you again, Rebecca.
Yeah, it's
for
good
our
to be
Families
together.
Matter
Yes,
show.
absolutely. One of the purposes of Families Matters, St. Lucie Public Schools Parenting Guide, is to familiarize families with resources in our community. This show focuses on parents and families within our district. You play a pivotal role in the life of your child and children. We are here to share resources found within our beautiful community that we call St. Lucie County. Today we are going to focus on multicultural literacy and how to support reading at home.
Hey, Rebecca. I know you mentioned a lot about literacy, and that's going to be our primary focus today. What do you remember about reading from your childhood?
Oh gosh, I have so many wonderful memories of reading growing up. My mom used to read chapter books with me in bed, and we would snuggle in bed and we would read together until I would fall asleep. And then my favorite teacher ever, we brought the book Charlotte's Web to life, and I played Charlotte. It was so great.
I can see you like that.
Yeah,
right?
It was,
Friendly
a
spider.
great memory, and I think about it often. When we were doing the play, I was, spider up there, and a real spider crawled out of the hay that I was standing on. That's what I remember the most, but from that experience.
From your acting debut.
From my acting debut in the 3rd grade, yes. Ms. Capezza, if you're watching, thank you. I also, when I was a kindergarten teacher, I loved reading different books to my students, and I would use lots of different voices to make them giggle. And I do that same thing now with my 2 boys. They really love books about trucks and dinosaurs. So I'm an expert now on trucks and dinosaurs. If you need to know anything about excavators or triceratops, please let me know. I'm your girl.
I think the T-Rex is one of the most underrated dinosaurs. We have to give the T-Rex credit where credit is due. We can find out more about that in books, right?
Oh, of course.
Yes. One of the things that I remember as a little girl was, I grew up in St. Lucie County, so I remember jumping on my bicycle, going at top speed to Ravenswood Library, and it's right across from Sportsman's Park. Hopped off, took my helmet off, parked it, put my bike lock on, and then went in the library. When I went in there, the librarian said to me, after I kind of roamed around for a long, long time, would you like to check out a book? And I was like, I don't have any money for a book. And she said, you can get a free library card. And that was like a whole new world opened up to me. I got my wallet, I put my free library card in because it was like money, right? And I was able to check out a book. It opened up mysteries and everything else. My favorite were Nancy Drew and the Hardy Boys. And that is what I remember the most about reading.
Core memories can be attached to reading because they strengthen the relationships between the reader and who you are reading with. We want to share resources to help strengthen these relationships at your home.
Our community in St. Lucie Public Schools is very diverse. Many of the resources that we're going to share with you today are going to be offered in multiple languages. We want you to make sure that you check out those resources on our St. Lucie Public Schools website. You can click to get multiple languages for the resources as well as the books that we share. We're going to read a book together, then share with you how you can encourage literacy at home. Regardless of the language that you speak, we want to make sure that love of literacy comes through for all.
We have chosen Amigo, written and illustrated by Carlos Zamora, a fun and colorful story about 2 roosters who explore what friendship means through a game of soccer. This book was selected as a Commissioner Book of the Month in September.
We had the honor of speaking with this author, Carlos Zamora, and what impressed us the most was his love of language and how he talked about how the book came about. He has two amazing daughters. And when he was talking with his daughters about friendships and all, it transported him back to a time in his childhood. And so this story kind of came about. And I love talking with him about how the connections are made. So let's check out the book that you're going to read at this time.
I love what the author shared with us about the word amigo. The word amigo is just beautiful in any language. I might debut some of those voices I mentioned earlier.
I'm looking forward to it.
Are you ready?
There's not going to be a spider in this one, but...
No, thank goodness. Thank goodness, no spiders. All right, let's begin. Amigo, written and illustrated by Carlos Zamora. He dedicated this book to his best friends, Juliana, Atiana, and Lucia. Two little roosters met at the park. Tony said, "Hola." Charlie asked, "What?"
Good attitude, too.
I was just trying to say hello. Let's play some football. Uno, dos, tres, go. Do you mean soccer? Ugh, get it right, bro. That's how I say it. Hurry up. Come on. I'll teach you Spanish. It will be fun. They kept on talking, running around, and kicking the ball all over town. Your Spanish is great. I mean it, really. But when I try to speak, I feel quite silly. Languages are like ice cream scoops. One is all right, but two are awesome good. Think of new flavors, music, and words. A whole new world in Espanol. Playing in the alley, Charlie kicked the ball. To his surprise, okay, I'm gonna need your help. He scored a goal! Cock-a-doodle-doo! Kiki-riki! What was that, Tony? Charlie, that's me. Wow, what a crow. You're the coolest bird I know. Here is the first word you need to learn. Oh, I think I know what it's gonna be. Amigo, my friend.
I love that story.
I know, it was so excelente.
Yes, yes, yes.
I really enjoyed how the author compared speaking languages to ice cream. One ice cream scoop is good, so one language, is all right, but two are awesome good.
Two, I love food too, so two are awesome good. And two friends, two amigos, through this story really highlight the friendships and also how the languages really transport you through and how you make those connections. I love it, love it, love it. If you would like to listen to this book in another language, please visit our Families Matter link on the St. Lucie Public Schools website for additional readings of Amigo. We will offer it in Spanish, Haitian Creole, and Portuguese. Simply click the link and you will hear this book read in all three of those languages.
We have some amazing resources for families to work together on after reading this book. These activities come from New World's Reading Initiative, a reading program supported by the University of Florida's Latzinger Center and Florida Legislature that sends books to your child's home if they need additional support in reading.
New World's Reading Initiative is a great program to get engaging, high-quality books in the hands of children. If you are interested in finding out more about the resources offered, please visit our website to check out these resources. If your child qualifies for additional support and resources, they can be found right there on our website. The New World's Reading Initiative targets elementary students in grades pre-kindergarten through 5th grade who are reading below grade level. Talk with your child's teacher or your child's school resources to find out how you can best help. We want to make sure that a child's love of reading is developed. Quality literature can be sent to your home free. You heard me, if your child qualifies, free resources can be sent home to build those home libraries. We want to make sure that quality literature is developing that love of reading, but also helping students reach levels of proficiency, which is so critical. I love the book that we shared today, Rebecca. Amigo is definitely going to go in my grandson's library because he is a sports fanatic. Right now he's in baseball, but he soon might join soccer and get that athleticism going.
Oh, I was definitely going to add this to my home library as well. How are my voices? Were they okay?
They were right, spot on.
Oh, good. So the New Worlds Reading Initiative application is easy to complete and is only a few clicks. Go to the St. Lucie Public Schools webpage and click on our Families Matters link. The application will be there. Once you are on the application page, scroll to the bottom and click Get Started. You can select your home language and to fill out the application. If you have any questions, please contact your child's school.
Hey, Rebecca, we mentioned a lot of the resources that would be in another language. What if I speak another language at home? Will I still be able to take advantage of the New Worlds Reading Initiative?
Oh, absolutely. Like I said, the application can be in your home language, and also the books that you receive can be in your home language as well. You can select that home language in your application, and the other languages also include Braille for our visually impaired students.
That's amazing, because I know that as a caregiver, I would want to make sure that I'm connecting as well, but I want to be able to get those resources and read in a language that's comfortable, but then also transition into a language that my child is developing proficiency in.
Absolutely.
Reading together is a fun family activity, but don't let the fun stop there. There are reading guides associated with the New Worlds reading books to enhance the caregiver support of reading skills. Let's take a look at some of the activities in the reading guide for Amigo.
Deshaun, what qualities do you think a good amigo should have?
Well, I think a good friend should be honest, trustworthy, and also have some things in common with me, like riding bikes, or maybe talking on the phone, or maybe even texting. I don't know.
Eating ice cream?
Eating ice cream,
Right,
definitely. Yes.
definitely. So like our two roosters in our story today, they were friends. They were amigos. So let's look at this New Worlds Reading Initiative activity where readers can compare how they are alike and different to a friend of their own using a Venn diagram.
This activity is geared toward younger students. However, we know that in many of our households, either older siblings help out with homework, or they might be a volunteer in something like the Boys and Girls Club, and they can use these reading strategies that are found right there on those free resources. In addition to that, we have high schoolers who qualify for getting a job and who might use these resources in their job to help develop the reading at our elementary schools. So it's a win-win for everyone. Not only are these resources available for our pre-K through our 5th grade students, but also our older kids can take advantage of it and may even get paid for it as a caretaker in our elementary schools.
Absolutely. If you're interested in more literacy resources, you are in luck. We have Wendy Mineo here with us today, a very special guest, and we're so happy to have her.
Hi everyone, I'm Wendy Mineo and I am the District Media Specialist.
Wendy, you mentioned that you're the district media specialist. What do you do in your role as the district media specialist?
I support the media specialists and I also support all the libraries in our school district.
So reading is obviously very important to you. Can you tell us why?
Absolutely. Reading is fun and it takes you to amazing worlds. But more importantly, reading is a life skill. It's something we do every single day. We might not even realize we're reading when we're at the grocery store and places like that, but it's something we do every day. So the more you read, the more you learn.
And as Dejan always says, readers are leaders.
Absolutely. And we mentioned in our first broadcast that one of our superintendent's goals, one of our district goals, is to make sure that we have all students proficient in reading. So your role is critical in making sure that we are developing our readers that are leaders, but also that love of literacy. So Wendy, why is reading important to families?
So it's a great way for parents and students to connect. They can read together and they make that really strong relationship with each other. And we all know strong relationships give a sense of well-being for our students.
Absolutely.
We also, reading also promotes literacy skills, and the more we read, we get new vocabulary, and in turn, that increases academic performance.
We learned a lot of new books in Amigo, such as Amigo. I didn't know that meant friend.
Yes. So when we think about all of the skills that are developed, a media specialist makes sure that they can help a child find a good book and get those high interest as well. So when you think about a media specialist role, how can a media specialist at one of our St. Lucie Public Schools help children at school?
Well, like you just mentioned, that they can help students find the perfect book for their interests. Our students have many interests, and a media specialist is able to help them find that high interest book, but also on their proficiency level. A media specialist can also help our students with research. They can show them the databases, show them how to access them, and not only that, give them support while they're doing that research.
Absolutely. I know as a former fifth grade teacher, one of the things that I really stressed for all of my students was to make sure they knew how to access research and how to use those sources, not just from the Media Center, but also using technology as well. And so it's important for our resources for our third grade students on up to high school. High schoolers need to know how to research. Can you give some tips or some suggestions for our high schoolers or even families to help support that research that's happening?
Absolutely. So they can do it in the school or in the public libraries. There's something there for everyone. The high schoolers who are doing their research, or even it starts as young as elementary, can follow the fines process, which is supported by our state, Florida Department of Education, and it helps walk them through the process of doing their research
Projects.
Thank you so very much. It helps them do their research projects, and the media specialist can help walk them through that as they go through. And now in the public library, any student age 5 through 15 with a parent signature can have a library card. And when they are at the libraries, they have, of course, access to all those books, but they also have free access to all of the resources with the computers. They actually have computers at each branch for the students.
I love taking my children to the public library. They have great music and movement classes, and they also love listening to the librarian read a story and then doing arts and crafts afterwards. And when I taught kindergarten, I loved taking my kids to the school library as well, because they always picked out books that we didn't have in our classroom library. So they could pick a book from an author that we might not have had in the classroom, or another copy of a book, like the author, like the little aardvark Arthur. If they loved those books as well, so they liked finding all the different versions of those books.
So you know how I mentioned earlier that one of my favorite memories was getting that free library card? A whole new world was opened up to me. And back then, because I went to school way back when the dinosaurs roamed, we had books that were those paper copies. But now technology is so critical in schools and in the research, right? And so technology being in these public libraries and being in our school libraries plays such a pivotal role. Our students are digital natives. And so as digital natives, they're able to, with a point and click, access these research skills and access books. Everything is available at the click, just at their fingertips. In addition to that, there are free resources, technology in the public library. So you might have a high schooler who's completing scholarship applications, or maybe even a job application. So it's right there. In addition to that, doing that research. Maybe the science fair is coming up.
Or history fair.
History fair, getting that all in their fingertips. That's so important. Or maybe they might play some fun educational games as well.
Can you tell us, Wendy, more about the St. Lucie Public Library System and how to gain access to the resources that you've mentioned?
Absolutely. Any resident of St. Lucie County has access to these free resources. If you're 16 years or older, you can either go to a library branch, except Pruitt campus, make a phone call, or go online. Make sure you have your address and your contact information, and maybe a pen and paper, because you might want to use it immediately. And once you give them all that information, you will receive a number, and that immediately gives you access to all of their digital resources, their in-house resources, and their ebooks. Their ebooks are amazing. You can listen to the book or you can read the book online. It is wonderful. So make sure you have that pen and paper once you get your card, so you can do it immediately.
I still have my library card from when I was a little girl. It's valid. It's the one I still use today. I think it's an antique, but they still accept it when I go to the library.
No judgment
yeah,
zone.
No, absolutely not. Yeah, but I use my library card often.
Yes. How important is a public library card for students in St. Lucie Public Schools?
Well, it gives students access to resources that they would not normally have access to. They are able to access the databases, the ebooks, as I mentioned previously. They also, weekly, the library branches publish different activities they have, which can be learning guides or learning activities, science, STEM, music and dance. There are so many opportunities for not just our students, our residents in St. Lucie County. There's technology that's available. It is amazing the amount of free resources our public library offers.
It's wonderful. You can also download the St. Lucie County Library app for free to search books, and then you can have them delivered to your home branch for pickup. I love using that for my boys. I like to surprise them with their favorite books so they can read them on the car ride home.
Yes. We appreciate you so much coming in and speaking with our families about the different resources available, not only in St. Lucie Public Schools, but within our very own community. Thank you so much, Miss Wendy Mineo, for coming out and speaking with all of our families within our community.
Yes, thank you, Wendy.
Thank you for having me.
Be sure to check out Amigo at your school library or even the public library.
Families, we have touched on many resources within our community. All of the resources from the multicultural literacy that's available to our New Worlds Reading Initiative, and many of our resources within not only the public school libraries, but also the library systems within our community. All of the free reading supports that were mentioned today are yours for the taking. Access to the resources mentioned today are available for you by visiting www.stluciepublicschools.org and going to our Parent and Students tab. All of the resources are there, and you can even plan with your family to visit the local library or check out your school libraries. Might be a Scholastic Book Fair going on even in some schools.
Today's show is focused on literacy in the home, and our show next month will be focused on preparing for the college experience. If you missed our show last month on attendance, be sure to check it out on WLX Horizon. Also, check out our social media outlets for our upcoming broadcast topics and times. I'm really excited for them.
I'm excited as well. Thank you so much, families, for joining us, because we remember that all families matter in St. Lucie Public Schools.